I don't even like to say this about myself, but I feel like I used to be a really jealous person. And I think seeing other people do really well before I was doing well myself would have made me feel a certain way. But now when the people that I know personally that have joined FHK, seeing them do so well with the program, it just makes me so happy for them. Like I know how they feel and I'm just like so excited for them. So that's been really nice too.
If I ever experience jealousy, to me, that's like feeling like untapped potential. Like, oh, I know I'm capable of this.
Yes.
I don't have it. So it's more so because everything's a mirror, right? So if it's just showing you what is possible, and if you don't have it, I don't even say it's like jealousy towards them. It's not like you don't want that for them. It's just, oh, like I'm ready for that version.
That's exactly it. Seeing them do so well. Like I think if I had not done FHK previously, I would have been like, oh, happy for them. But I want that for myself and I can't be fully happy for them. But just knowing I've done that already and still experiencing it and seeing them experience it for themselves, it just makes you so happy. And like, I'm so glad that I could be that source of inspiration for them.
I literally just got goosebumps. So you celebrating yourself, right? And sharing your light, even like the Instagram post that you did, has allowed other women to now go and do that for themselves. So it's like, it's so cool. I always tell my clients, you're actually, you're a big deal. You're a really big deal. Welcome to the For Her Kind podcast, where we chat with women who have gone through the program and also just other women that have inspired us. And we are here today with Anessa, who was my client for the last, like pretty much in the last year in a little bit.
March, I started up last year.
So incredible. She's had an amazing, amazing transformation. And she's dropped, is it 40 pounds total?
Oh gosh, 50. I hit like 50 plus. So
yeah. And so obviously that's incredible, but I want to take you through her story because if you're listening and if you see any part of yourself in this is definitely going to hit. So let's go back to before FHK. What was life feeling like for you?
just a little chaotic, very busy. I wouldn't say I was unhappy, but I felt like I was just like going through each day, spinning my wheels. Like I knew there was more that I wanted for myself. I almost felt like I needed like a hobby. Like I have 2 young boys and I felt like I lost myself a little bit in motherhood. And I felt like I needed something for myself to bring me back closer to myself. I just felt like the days were tougher. Like I was really emotional, reactive, snapping at my kids more often. Yeah, that's pretty much what life was like for me, just like going through the motions in a very chaotic way.
And so would you say that you were struggling most of the time with like emotional stability and just finding an outlet that was mostly for you?
100%. So I feel like my habits before, like if I did feel like I was not in a good place emotionally, like my number one strategy was to look for like a quick fix, like whether that was like with a handful of chips, a cookie, alcohol. I was a really big drinker before. Yeah, just like really looking for like a quick fix that I thought would make me happy initially, and perhaps it did, but it just didn't feel good. Like I would feel so guilty after indulging, and it just I know now that that was not necessarily helping my cause.
And so what would you say your relationship was with food in your body at that time?
I think I was just really uncomfortable and it just wasn't necessarily healthy. Like I was actually a chronic undereater. I would just like starve myself all day, just like pick off my kids' plates, eat the crust off their sandwich, and then have like a multi-thousand calorie dinner because I was like so hungry by the end of the day. And again, like I just kind of ate what I wanted when I wanted, but it just wasn't that nutritious. Like I was a big snacker. Yeah. And then like I said after, like I would like have like a huge snack to make myself feel better, but then like I just wouldn't really feel that good after. And I just like felt really uncomfortable in my own skin. Summers were just like, I don't know. I didn't like being in a bathing suit. I was like so self-conscious, like going to the beach with my kids because I couldn't like focus on playing with them because I was worried about like how my stomach looked or my arms or my legs. So yeah, it wasn't healthy. It wasn't healthy.
Yeah. And I think that's so relatable for two things. The one, chronically like under eating, just eating the bites and crumbs from your kids' plates. And then of course, because you're starving at night and you're so drained, right? You're looking to recharge your battery. And the easiest way to do that is to grab food, right? Easiest thing.
For sure.
Get that quick dopamine hit. And then also when you are on vacation or in a bathing suit, or even just getting ready, I hear from a lot of women when they're trying to get ready to go out at night and they can't find an outfit that feels good or that they're comfortable in, that they love
Like
to look in, that is like taking away from your enjoyment of life, right?
like I would do my hair and my makeup and I would feel good and then I'd go to get dressed and like it would just like ruin my night, want to stay home, nothing fits me, nothing looks good on me and I could not stop focusing on the parts of myself that I didn't like and I would like I said let it just consume me and ruin my whole weekend, let alone night. So
Yeah, yeah, and okay, let's talk about that because you just went on 2 vacations over the winter, and
Mhm.
how were these vacations different?
So actually, we take a family trip to Florida every year. And when we came back from our last family trip, 2025, that was the push. I just remember thinking to myself, I can't even focus on just enjoying this vacation because I'm just like not, I felt really negative, like not only about how I looked physically, but just like how I couldn't stop wishing things were different, and like I said, I wasn't really in a great place mentally, so I just kinda tended to focus on the things that made me unhappy in the moment, maybe like, "Oh, like, my kids are bugging me," for example, but I would just let that take over my whole vacation. So these last 2 vacation, obviously, I look different physically, and I feel a lot better physically in terms of, like, energy, and obviously, I put on a bathing suit, and I'm like, "Wow, like, who is that now?" But also just, like, mentally, like, instead of, like, thinking, "Oh, my vacation would be so much more enjoyable and easier if my kids weren't here," for example, like, I just could not stop thinking about the positives and just, like, how flowy my life feels now and how easy it is, and, "Oh, something doesn't go right. It's fine, and it is what it is." So these vacations were so much more enjoyable, and I was way more present. I wasn't thinking about food. I wasn't thinking about, "Oh, I better not eat that ice cream with my family because I don't wanna feel chubby tomorrow." Like, it was so much more enjoyable, and I felt way more present, and it makes a big, big difference. I noticed that this year for sure.
And what do you think is the reason for that, right? Like, obviously, you look better, but
Mhm.
underneath it all, because I always tell women, like, I can give you, like, a brand new body tomorrow. It's going to be a different experience for you versus if you go through this process over, 6 to 12 months than if you just get a new body the next day. If you were to guess what the difference is between working for this goal over time or just getting it, what would you say is the reason for why it creates that internal fulfillment?
Yeah, I think that's just it right there, like, having worked I'm gonna say so hard, but not like once all the guesswork was taken out of my journey, like, I tell people all the time, like, it really was not that hard. I think just having put that work into myself, it just really changed other areas of my life, like how I approached the day to day. Yeah, I think it just yeah, I can't really describe it other than to say it just makes my life easier, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
And from my experience, anyways, it's like just building that relationship with yourself, like following through on the things that you said that you were going to do. And it's a heck of a lot easier to do that when you know that the plan that you're following is bringing you closer to your goal rather than just like throwing spaghetti against a wall. Sure. Eh?
For
Good.
sure. But also, like, something I learned through this process is like every move I make is like super intentional and how I react to things is intentional. And it's just easier to keep that in the back of your mind. Like I always tell people the physical transformation was like one thing, but like I'm also equally proud of the work I've put into my mental being and my mental health. Yeah, just like it's easier to like process life when you everything is intentional and the moves you make are like what's going to benefit you. So just kind of keeping that in the back of my mind helps.
Yeah. Like you almost become like unshakable and unbothered by the little things when you're just so fulfilled. So I'm really happy for you that this experience has brought you so much of that. I want to know though, had you before FHK, had you tried anything to change your body?
Yes. So before I had my children, so they're 3 and 4 years old right now. So before I had my children, I did like, oh gosh, I was super into like the fast fixes, right? Like the 6 week challenges, cutting out food groups. Like I gave keto a go for a while. It was very short lived. And I just like really quickly learned that this is not sustainable. And I would do like random workouts. Like, I've always been, like, somewhat athletic, so I would just do, like, random workouts in my basement, and they feel okay, but then, like, I wouldn't see any progress, and I'm like, "Well, why am I wasting my time doing this if it's not really changing anything?" You know? Like, it now I'm like, "Well, it was probably good for my mental health," but was very confused as to why I wasn't see, like, any body recomposition, and I was getting so frustrated because I'm taking time away from my life and my family to do these workouts, so what is happening here? And same with eating, I was like, "I don't eat anything during the day.
Mhm.
Why am I not losing weight?" Like, it just, like, wasn't making sense to me in my mind as to why I wasn't seeing a bigger difference. After trying, I did
Yeah.
put some in, and I
And
just
you
kind of
know,
accepted, like, after seeing the lack of progress, I just kept telling myself, like, "Your boys are young. This is just not your season." Like, I kept telling myself, "This is not your season. When they're older, you can get back into fitness." But, like, that's so silly. Like, I didn't really have to wait at all. Like, this is 100% my season.
it's so your season. And that's the thing. Like, also, well, first of all, just for the listeners, when I had my first call with Anessa, I asked her, I said, "Yep, do you ever see yourself working towards a photo shoot or, celebrating your progress, which will happen?" Planted the seed in a photo shoot. And she was like, "Absolutely not. It's just not my thing." And obviously, we'll share some photos when we share this podcast, but she definitely came in hot at the November
A
photo.
hard no. It
Yeah.
wasn't just, "No, thank you." It was like, "Hell no." Never.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
so funny because I think I was picturing myself, like, in front of a camera, like, I knew I was here because I wanted to change. I didn't know how much I was going to change physically and mentally. I was picturing doing a photo shoot how I felt like that very first call, and I was like, "Well, no, absolutely not." I could shed a few pounds and I still would be so uncomfortable in front of a camera, but the results become addicting, and then you just have no choice but to celebrate your before and after and do it in such a meaningful
And inspire
and
other
long
women.
lasting, right? Like, sometimes I'll just, like, randomly look at those photos and be like, "Oh, there she is," and I'm so glad that I did it. Like,
Yeah.
it would I was nervous, like, even right before the photo shoot because I was like, "This is, like, kind of out of my comfort zone," but, like, ever since I joined FHK, like, we've talked about this in, like, one of my check-ins, but, like, I just am so much more willing to, like, take risks and try new things, and I was like, I never was like that before FHK, but I think once you have confidence in yourself in, like, one aspect of your life, it, like, certainly trickles into other aspects. So, yes, no regrets on the photo shoot. I laugh at myself now being like, no, not for me."
No, for sure. I was telling someone yesterday actually, and I am not like nutrition and fitness obsessed, right? Like that is not like I would say even if I had my like top passions, like literally nutrition and fitness would not even be in my like top interests. However, committing to a goal like this has been something that I has unlocked so much for me. And because of that, I am so in love with those things.
Yeah,
That makes
that
sense.
makes total sense.
Yeah, so I like that you said that your confidence trickled into other ways because, yeah, I feel that so much deep in my core. Mhm. And then let's talk about, you've obviously inspired so many other women with your journey and like how it feels. We talked about this a little bit before we started recording, but just, and this also came up quite a bit in your check ins. You're like, I used to look at other women who, had results like I do and be like, oh, I can't have that and feel jealous and feel envy. And let's talk a little bit about that and what that we actually think or realize that that meant for you.
Here. Before, like, I started FHK, like, I probably filled out and I feel like maybe other women might, like, resonate with this, like, I filled out the consultation form, like, probably a good 12 times before I was like, "Okay, this is silly." But I would, like, look at the transformation photos and I would be like it's, like, so funny, you see, like, the proof, and these are, like, real women, and now I know that, like, I like to think, like, I'm special, but I'm really nothing special, like, I had the same transformation that the other women I've seen myself on the FHK page, but I used to look at that and be like, "That will never be me. I will never have abs like that. I will never have a butt like that." But it's just so funny how once someone takes the guesswork out of everything, like I said, I work hard, but, like, I don't work that hard. Like, the program just kinda, like, fits so seamlessly into my life, and then you really do see results like that, and it's like the before and after photos, like, At first, I was so uncomfortable, and now I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I can't wait to compare because it's just so inspiring."
Mhm. Amazing. And just going back to what you said about you used to like nitpick every little thing about yourself. And
Mhm.
now the lens which you view yourself completely has changed. And even maybe you're still working towards, let's say, more glute definition or something like that. The way that you see
No,
yourself.
I am.
Yeah. Are we all though? Are we all? We're not all blessed with like Christina's bum.
Yeah, oh my god. Yes.
Yeah. Do you want to expand on that at all? Just like how the way that you view yourself has just changed so much.
Yeah, I think you kinda hit the nail on the head already, like, instead of, like, looking at myself in the mirror and nitpicking, like, the areas that I wish I could change, just, like, the lens has completely changed for me, and I see myself as a whole, and I don't see, like, the body that I see before. I see a body that's constantly changing for the better. I see defined shoulders. I see strong legs. Like, I just, like, look at myself, and I think, right, I used to look at myself and think I wanna be skinny. That's all I want, but now I look at myself and I just see, like, strong, and I love that, and I think that that perspective has really changed how I view myself in a much more positive manner. Like, I'm not so nitpicky, I just see my progress. Like, when I look in the mirror, I just, like, see my progress, and I look back to those transformation photos on For Her Kind's Instagram page, and I'm like, "Wow, like, this really fits the bill." I look just as strong as everyone else.
Yeah, you do. And so
Mm.
I'd love to know, was there like a moment in time where you're like, I am doing this? Like I'm committing to FHK. It is time I have to do this. Was there a moment?
I think just really when we got back from that first vacation, I just, like, remember looking at photos of myself and being like, "I'm taking the call." And then as soon as we got home, I booked that one-on-one, and then after, like, our first conversation, I was like, "We're doing this." And,
You were-
it hasn't been easy, like, remember, like, I still think back to that, like, second check-in where I was like, "Oh my gosh, like, I don't know what I'm doing. This is so hard." But then, like, it really forces you to, like, put the work into yourself. Like, I think that's why, like, other programs don't really work because someone tells you, like, do this, do this. In 6 weeks, you don't have that anymore. And then you kind of fall off the wagon where this is, like, very much like you're forced to learn, right? I think that I really appreciate, like, the no meal plan aspect of things because then I can, like, still eat the foods that I like, but I'm learning why I'm putting that into my body, and I'm learning, like, why that nutrition works for me specifically, and that's why, like, I'm a year out, but, like, I'm still making the same sustainable choices and habits.
Oh my gosh, yes. Thank you for reminding me of that. The listeners need to do this. Nessa almost quit in her first
Literally,
she tried to
literally.
quit. Yeah.
Oh. I think that, like, my hormones were, like, so unbalanced back then too, like, even, like, PMS, like, it gets me every once in a while, but just, like, the way I can manage it now and just kind of, like, work through it is just, like, night and day, so I don't have those, like, crash outs, like that second check-in, but
Hormones are the effect, not the cause, right? We
right.
often go to blame the hormones, but if they're unbalanced or, if they're acting funny, there's a reason, there's a purpose to it. So we need to go back to like the root cause, oftentimes coming back into alignment and feeling good. But with the wanting to quit, the thing is that is why we do the check-in process the way that we do, because we know the learning curve is the biggest, especially the first month. Yeah, first like 4 to 6 weeks, the learning curve is the biggest. And that is when most other programs have their drop off, or that's as long as they last. So we need to get you women over that hump and support you through that. And then it's like smoother sailing from there, just like Anessa described it as, wasn't that hard?
But I think back to that very specific check-in, I remember answering the questions and being like, "Why am I doing this?" But I couldn't imagine if I had just dropped off right there, I would have been missing out on a life change, literally. So I'm so thankful for you for talking me through it, and obviously everything worked out fine, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's tough at first, right? Because you're learning a new skill and there's so many habits that you have to unlearn. But if it was easy, it wouldn't necessarily be worth it. Like the payoff wouldn't be as like phenomenal and life changing as it has been for me anyway. So
Yeah. And if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. Right.
true, true.
Mhm. Okay, well, on that note, I want to say like a huge thank you. I know you have to pick your boys up from school, but I just want
Yeah.
to a real thank you for sharing your experience also, and we'll tag you in the show notes. Maybe if anyone's interested in just like hearing a little bit more about your journey, because like you're a busy working mom of two young kids. So, if anybody wants to reach out to you, they can do so. And
Sure.
just quick little rapid fire. First thing that comes to your mind, I just want you to answer for us. Okay.
Ooh, I'm nervous. Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. Item that you cannot leave the house without.
Gum.
Okay. Favorite lift right now.
Bulgarians. Bulgarians. Actually, believe it or not,
Yeah. Least favorite lift.
RDLs.
Oh my gosh. Advice for anyone who is hesitating, taking the leap to signing up with FHK.
I feel like everyone says this, but like literally just do it. You have to experience it for yourself. And at the end of the day, I want from the bottom of my heart everyone to feel like this. Like I know we were talking a little bit before this how like I used to get so jealous of women like and seeing them do good things. It's like you're happy for them, but you really want that for yourself. You just don't know how.
Mhm.
Um I want everyone to feel like this. I'm happy for women that decide to join. I think it's the best decision of their life, and you cannot go wrong with this program. Seriously.
I actually love finishing on that note because that to me, that's what envy is, right? If you're envious of someone, everything's just a mirror. They're just reflecting to you your desires, right? That untapped potential. So if that is something that you experience when you're seeing other women's transformations or just thriving, we would love to support you in that journey. Thank you for listening.